Hi parents, this week's lesson is When Jesus Calmed the Storm, and you can find this in Matthew chapter 8, Mark chapter 4, and Luke chapter 8. And I love this story. It emphasizes Jesus' power over his creation. This lesson also starts to answer the question, is Jesus God or a human? As the Son of God, Jesus is both fully God and fully human. So we just finished learning over the last few weeks that faith in Jesus is the only thing that saves us from sin. Well, we're going to shift gears here a little bit over the next 5 weeks and start learning about the person of Jesus. This lesson highlights Jesus' authority and power over his creation. While this may be a familiar story to most of us, I do want to highlight just a few things as we move forward. We find that Jesus is sleeping in the back of the boat after teaching for a long time. He got tired, just like we do, which shows that he was a man. Not only this, just the power of his voice is enough to make the wind and the waves obey him. Thinking all the way back to Genesis, it was the voice of God, or in this case Jesus, that created everything. This shows us that Jesus was also God. This storm was so massive that seasoned fishermen were sure that they were going to die and their boat was filling with water. Jesus was asleep. When Jesus wakes up and he sees that his friends were afraid, he gets up and he speaks to the wind and the waves, and immediately there was peace. Because of this, the disciples were amazed and they worshiped Jesus. And Jesus' disciples knew that he was a good man and a good teacher. But when Jesus woke up and calmed the wind and the waves through the power of his voice, they saw that he was God. And he is in control of the winds and the waves. So parents, as we move forward and as we get to the questions, I want to invite you, have your Bible or your child's Bible open to Matthew chapter 8 or Mark chapter 4 or Luke chapter 8, or maybe go through all three of them. So you can show your children that in the Gospels, sometimes they talked about the same thing, just from a different perspective. So if you want to, feel free to pause the video right now. Read through those three accounts of this story, and then we'll dive into these questions. What is one thing you remember from this week's Bible story? How did Jesus calm the storm? How did Jesus show his disciples that he is Lord? How does Jesus' authority over all creation lead you to worship him and submit to his rule? Well, parents, as always, it is a joy to partner with you as you disciple your kids and as you lead them to the foot of the cross. And I do want to encourage you, keep working at it. These things take time. Habits take time to form and to build. So if your family discipleship time has maybe gone awry like it has in my house, where my kids maybe, cry or throw fits by the end of it, that's okay, because we are working towards them knowing the truth of Jesus. So hang in there with your kids and encourage them and teach them the truth of Jesus as you sit down with them, as you walk with them, and as you rise with them. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.